Another week, another awful Master Duel ban list, so let's check it out and talk about it. If you still need a beautiful playmat or a deck box, go to zerodamagegaming.com and use the code SOLEMN for a discount. So these hits are just weird, one by one. First of all, we have M-Pen, our little burb for flu. You only have one now, which kinda hurts. It is definitely something that you want in the grind to have like more access to. You could also make two. I don't know why they hate flu so much. Like, flu is definitely a strong deck. It was, in my opinion, like top 5 in the last format, but it just feels so odd because obviously tier is so much better, branded is so much better, branded tier is so much better, sprite is so much better, and you could argue, oh, but they're hitting the others too, but like, no. And then also in the near future we will probably get like the new labyrinth support, which is so much better. We will get the new Kashtiras, which is so much better. So it's so odd to hit flu now. Like, they've suffered enough, let them just be like a solid cute little deck. I don't like this deck, by the way. Any shifter deck, in my opinion, should not exist, but they shouldn't be hitting them like this when they're barely hitting others. Then they have Eradicator Epidemic Virus to 1. This is another nothing hit. I've been seeing people talk about the fact that, oh, this must mean Labyrinth is coming, but Labyrinth doesn't play that many. Labyrinth plays 1. You can search it with Lady, and you can revive it with Lovely if you're that desperate, but you're not. Obviously, after using it once, that's enough. So there is no reason to play more than that. So even if this is somehow an indication that Lab is coming, it doesn't matter. Lab was always going to play 1. Now, obviously, this is a step in the right direction because any step that puts Eradicator lower on the ban list is better. Like, Eradicator Epidemic Virus should not be a legal card. I've seen a lot of awful Yu-Gi-Oh! Discourse on Twitter about this. Any kind of bullshit instant win card, even if usually it sucks, the second it stops sucking, it should probably go. Like, cards like these, there's no reason for them to exist. The big question you should ask yourself is this card ever used for anything that's not degenerate? And the answer is no. Same shit with Cyberstein, so get rid of it. But it's at 1, alright, we'll see Labyrinth abuse it. And don't get me wrong, I love Labyrinth, but this just isn't the most enjoyable way to play it. But for now, this hit does nothing. Then we have Tearlament Sulik to 1. Who cares, okay? Like, most people were playing 1. I played 2. Some people played 2. It's still a solid mill, and sure, we'll be kind of sad that it's at 1 instead of 2 if you were playing 2, but in all honesty, this is not a real Tearlament hit. We do not care. I can see them going like, oh, but if we just hit the Tearlaments a little bit every single month, surely eventually they'll be fair. And that'd be kind of true, but it's just so frustrating to see them like dance around the issue. In my opinion, ban every Ishizu card, and Tier is probably just a cool engine, and like Kashtira will make it so Tier will not be the best deck anymore anyway. And if you really hate Tier that much, ban Kid Kalos. I don't like it, but I understand why you'd wanna. But hits like these, where it's like Sulik to 1, Shuffler goes to 1 instead of 2, these do nothing. Like, Tier is still best deck after this, who cares? Then Branded Fusion to 2. Now, I've seen a lot of people coping. I've seen a lot of people going, oh, but Tier is still best deck, why do you hit Branded Fusion? Well, clearly Branded is still an insane engine, and the second Kash comes out, if Tier is not close enough to full power anymore, Kash will be a better deck. I also have a very hot take that in YCS Lyon, even though Tier was still best deck, I think that was mostly because Kash players were like playing that deck very awfully, most of them. Like, I'd say 99% of Kashtira players in YCS Lyon just couldn't play Kashtira yet. A lot of things were gradually figured out. Like the double Arise Heart. Like, there was no Tearlament deck that was beating double Arise Heart ever, but no one was doing that play. Arise Pass also wasn't really a thing yet. Like, most people were doing the combo that always plays into Nibiru. So just things like that, I feel Kashtira, now that people are better with the deck, will actually be a fair bit better than we thought in YCS Lyon. So for that reason, I actually think once Kash comes out, Tier might be fine. Hot take. But this means Branded would actually become a better deck because Branded can actually deal with Kashtira very well. More on that later. You know, once the Kashtira cards come out, this channel will go over a lot of this stuff in detail. So be sure to be subscribed for that. But yeah, Branded Fusion, look, Branded is a strong deck. It has been a strong deck for a long time. I love to play it, but I understand why this card by itself is actually ridiculously unfair. It is an OCG at 1, and I think we'll actually see something similar happen in the TCG. I do not think this card will be a 3 by next year. Then we have Sprite Jet to 2. Once again, one of those like little do-nothing hits. I understand though that the Sprite engine is more and more becoming smaller, and so the deck will get worse and worse over time. The thing is, if you truly wanted to hit Sprite, you would just ban L, like we did in the TCG. I kind of respect that I don't, because I do actually like the idea of playing like a pile with a lot of little engines, so I can play like a few Sprites with an Elf and a few Tiers with this and that. But it's not the way a lot of other people like to play, so we'll see how that happens. 2 Swap Frog, alright, fine. Solid Engine, but without Toad, who cares? And then Metaverse to 3, this does absolutely nothing. A card like Metaverse is simply too slow. The only time we see that having effect is when there's like a completely broken field spell, like Mystic Mind, for example, last year. And so overall, what does this ban list do? Absolutely nothing. That is why it is a bad ban list. It just slightly annoys some players, like Sprite players are like, and branded players are like, Blue players are like, yikes, that actually hurts a bit more. And then everything else is just what ifs. What ifs? This doesn't do anything to Labyrinth. This doesn't do much to Tier. This doesn't do much to Sprite. This doesn't do much Sprite. This doesn't do much to branded. This kind of hurts Flu. It's just a do nothing ban list in a format where a lot of people are crying because, you know, it might actually need some change. So that is all for today. Hope you found this interesting. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you soon. Ciao.